Hello YouTube, this is Silver Edge Dave. Today is Monday and I am doing a support video for Weaponxsquall comics. Weaponxsquall is doing a 100 sub contest. I wrote the little sign out at 152, but they're actually at 153 today. Abe is at 153. Super great guy, super knowledgeable. He's the person who came up with the foam board system that I showed off, a little tip of the day on, and he did just a really great video. I'll link it in the description. Very organized, experienced collector for a young guy. He's got a heck of a system going. Anyway, the normal rules apply. The things he's asking you to do is he wants to hear about the memory of a comic trip, and he wants to hear about an influential person. That could be you or someone else in a comic, in a story. And so that's pretty easy to do. This is Weaponxsquall's homepage here, and I'm gonna show you something later. But anyway, I've been at it a long time. I collect comic books. All comic books are equal in my eyes. I love them all. But as I was growing up, one of the influential people that was in my life, he was actually a very good friend. I played D&D for years with. His name is Jeff. And Jeff had some older brothers. I didn't have an older brother. So Jeff always seemed to know more about stuff than really what I did. I think older brothers are good for that. They teach you stuff. But he always knew about comics. These are actually my original D&D books from back in the day. Someday maybe I'll take those out and go through them. But we played. I mean, literally there were summers where there was groups of 5, 6, 7 of us that would just spend our summers in Jeff's basement. His mom would make us cookies, and there was always bowls of M&Ms. And he was the dungeon master and very theatrical guy, fun guy to be around. But anyway, when I found out Jeff was into comic collecting and he found out I was into comic collecting, I was very amateurish at best. I really didn't know what was going on. I'd buy books. Just, like a lot of people do, just based on the cover or a specific character. Well, anyway, in the 80s, Jeff and I used to ride our bikes like so far to get to this one particular comic store. There were a few places we'd buy comics, but this one store he liked, it was like a whole town over. And it seemed like if we wanted comic books, it was all day on the bikes. And we'd ride over there. I don't think in the rain we rode over, but winter, summer, it didn't matter. These 3 books in particular are books that Jeff had turned me on to. And I can't remember what the name of the store was where we bought these, but each of these issues, when they came out, I remember Jeff saying, "We got to buy these, Dave," and we bought them deep. I've probably got, between the couple of places we went, I probably have, I'll bet I have 10 issues of the Secret Wars #8. I've probably got 5 issues or more, if I can find them all, of the 252, and the Wolverine Limited Series, same way. But he was just a good guy, and he always knew about books, and he'd say, "Oh, we got to get this," and this happens to be one of his things. We bought a few copies of these, when the Watchmen hit the stands. I wasn't, I don't think, ready for that deep a comic book, so I think I read a different copy of the #1, but I never read the rest of the Watchmen series. So these books, and even the #1 here, these are all unread. When I bought books, I bought Mylars, and they went right into Mylar. So these were all in a box in a dark, cool, dry basement in Mylar since the day they hit the newsstand. And I've always been funny about them, that when I took one off the newsstand, I was always real particular about the corners and about condition, and but I wouldn't necessarily have bought these, but Jeff said, every month or however often they came out, he'd say, "Oh, there's a new one," and we'd get them. And those bike rides, I don't really remember what we talked about, and frankly, I don't remember how the comics really survived the bike rides, because I didn't have a basket or anything. We must have had our backpacks. This is a box of some of my old comics. As I'm going through the reshuffle in here, a lot of this stuff is getting divvied up. And it used to be I had a box that I could specifically say, oh, this is all the stuff from, you know, those specific, you know, years. But now it's getting mixed together a little more. But anyway, you know, we bought everything deep, and it was just nice. Those trips were great, and we'd ride our bikes forever. We'd get to the store, we'd buy books, and then we'd ride back. And I imagine we're talking comics or Dungeons and Dragons or, you know, school or whatever. It was all just generally fun stuff. And so it's nice to reminisce, think about Jeff and all those times we rode them dumb bikes. And it's funny, once we had cars, I don't really remember. I'm sure we went to the comic stores, but it was almost like a different type of adventure by that point. So I don't know if the trips really continued. I think it was just easier to ride your car over there and you know, and do things that way. So enough about me. I did want to show you this video here on Weaponxsquall. I do hope everyone jumps over there. If you're not subbed to him, go ahead and sub him up. This guy should have way more subs anyway. He's got a neat channel. His family's behind him on his hobby. So he's basically showing off a Grail book that he just bought. I'm going to turn the volume up if it'll let me. Okay, I'm going to hit play here.
Like I said, I've been saving this for a long time, so I'm finally happy to get it. But I ended up getting my Batman Adventures number 12. This is my holy grail.
Isn't that awesome?
So
that's a family that plays together and stays together.
Thank you guys for watching.
I love it. So, Abe, congratulations on your achievement, and I wish you the best. That 150 number is going to go away real fast. That's going to grow and grow for you. But with that, I appreciate you hosting a community event like this. I hope a lot of people are getting involved. And that is it for Silver Age Dave. I am out.